So, Jim, let's talk about 3D Touch, because I have to say, part of the reason I was a little nervous about it is I don't think it succeeds on the watch. It's not intuitive. It's not clear what's going to happen. It's okay on the laptop, but again, it's not intuitive. It's not clear what's going to happen. I'm gathering already from all the reviews that it really is a significant upgrade on the iPhone.
Yeah, it really is. I'm trying to get myself in here. It really is a significant upgrade because it actually changes the way that you navigate on the iPhone. So if you look at how you navigate to even an email message, you go into the app, you go into the message, you decide whether you want to reply. You reply to it. You might want to mark it as unread. You go to the menu, you mark it. I mean, there's so many steps, and then all the way back out again. So with 3D Touch, when you're in the app, you just press and hold on the message, and it pops up like a little peek, and it gives you a preview of what the message is. If you decide, yes, this is something I want to deal with right now, you just slide up, and a menu comes up, and it also works in Apple Music, as you see there on the screen. When you slide up, a menu comes up from the bottom that gives you some options of things that you can do to interact with that right now. Now, if you hold on the playlist that I have on there in the screenshot, then it will pop, and that means that you've entered the application if you had have gone all the way in the old way, you would be at that page. So it's very intuitive. It gives you haptic feedback so that when you press, it's coming up because it vibrates a little bit on your thumb. So, it's interactive all the way through. And more than just a feature that, I don't know, is cool, and something that you think you might want to use, or you're going to forget about in the next month. This is something that you're going to use every day, and what's going to be annoying are the apps that don't have it,
which right now is everything but Apple, right?
Right, and not even all of the Apple apps have it. Oh. I mean, Pages, Numbers, Keynote, none of those apps. Or at least they don't have the quick actions.
What are you guys hearing? Are developers going to jump on this, you feel?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, developers are going to. I mean, I already know some that are doing it. There are some apps in beta already that are doing it.
Yep. Ken K showed off the OmniFocus 3D Touch already, and Apple showed off Instagram and some others at the event, and they look really keen.
Yeah, and I'm hearing a lot from developers as well. Between the iPad Pro and 3D Touch, there's a lot of companies add features that are really, really nice, and some will even add features that even make apps look better. Apple is the one that consistently creates new stuff that gets developers really creatively buzzed about what they found hard to do or implement a year ago that now seems so natural and easy for them to do.
So am I wrong in thinking that this is not really the same thing as Force Touch on the wristwatch or the MacBooks?
It's similar technologies. It gets implemented differently because the screen size is much larger and you can't really do it the same way. But because you have the bigger screen, they did something really clever. And it's always, how are you going to use this new technology that matters? And they made it, and the best description I can come up with it is they made it a way to fold space and create like a little wormhole in iOS. So instead of just tapping an app and then tapping a feature, you press right through the icon and into that feature that you want to get to. Instead of tapping a list item and getting an email, tapping a data detector link and getting a map preview or web preview, you tap right through that link or that item, and you peek out at it, you preview it, then you tap a little more, and it pushes you all the way into that app. And I only spent 30 minutes with it, not like what Jim's had for 2 weeks, but it gives you that visceral feeling of there is a layers to this interface, and I can push my way right through them. I don't have to swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe sideways, swipe in, swipe back, tap, 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 tap. I'm just basically pushing, and the more I push, the deeper and deeper I get, and I can let go at any time and pop right back. And it makes everything, they call it an accelerator in the framework, that it makes the UI faster. And that's really the sense I got. And it's another step with continuity and extensibility that stops us having to hunt around home screens looking for widgets or apps, and just brings all that content to us right where we are. And it's a perceptive thing, but humans are perceptive, so that it becomes a very real feeling of speed.
Well, and I think it's more than a feeling of speed. I think it is speed because I deal with things a lot quicker. Something comes in, I press, I peek on it. And Leo, think of it. You get an email from Jason that says, important. And, you see that. And the first thing you do is you go to mail and you
have to open the app. Right in. You have to find it. Yep.
But if you had peek, you just look, you tap on it and it says important. I lost my sock. And you could say, well, I don't need to deal with that.
Can you?
I tell Leo those kinds of things all the time. So.
Can you peek and pop on a notification?
No.
Okay.
No, but
that would be maybe that would be nice if you get a notification of Jason's sock mail. That if I could peek and poke on that, I'm just thinking. I mean, look.
Well, no, future products, Leo.
Yeah. Not peek and poke. Don't poke your messages. Don't poke your messages. Hey.
Show title.
Snap, crackle, pop. Yeah. Apple iPhone 6s Plus.
I just love that this is so on trend on Android and other platforms. We're seeing the trend where we're trying to get people to not have to ever launch actual apps. Don't interact with an app. Interact with a feature within that app, and a great operating system will give you different opportunities to drill down right into that feature. So you don't have to open up Evernote to expose a button for creating a note. You can just 3D touch and drill down into just create a brand new note and then let me back into my life. So these are some of the things that I had been missing from the iPhone that it's really exciting to see it come to this.
Phil Libman, when he was still at Evernote, we did a triangulation with him. And he said, because he says, my job is to think about the future, about trends. And he said, we're headed to a post-application future. And I went, what? But that's kind of the beginning of that, because it is really kind of modal and Apple's been always against modality from the first days of the Macintosh, where you have to go into a mode to do something and then come out of the mode to do something else. It makes much more sense to kind of interact with it that way. I'm excited. I think you're right. This is the first new user interface feature in quite some time. This could be significant. It also sounds like power users will most appreciate it because it will allow them to do things faster.
But look at it this way too, Leo. Like for a while we had websites, and then now we have web services. So you don't necessarily have to go to a website. There's APIs like the TWiT website. You don't need the web anymore. You can just go right to those APIs within apps and do a lot of things. We used to have apps which are these big lumpy binaries, but thanks again to things like continuity, things like extensibility, and the Android versions of those, you unbundle those things, and those features and those functions can be surfaced anywhere. With the Apple Watch, they're even surfacing them on different hardware. That until recently, the logic was running on a completely different device than the interface was running. CarPlay still does that. So we're coming into a future where developers are creating functionality, and you can pull those photo filters in here. You can use those share buttons there. You can poke into different apps. I'm getting the feeling that one day I'm going to touch my iPhone, push my finger, and it's going to pop out a Jim screen. I think that's just a logical next step.
Yeah.
Careful what pocket you keep that phone in, Jim.